Hey, what's up? Today I want to take you on a journey on localizing a Webflow website. So first of all, about the groundwork that needs to be done. You need to understand what localization means, what you need to understand href-lang tags, and also you need to make some decisions about the language codes that you are using. If you are not familiar with this, make sure to check out my other video that I'm linking in the description below. This video is really a walkthrough of how I'm actually doing the full localization with one of our clients' projects. So let's take a look at the projects before starting out. The project here, as you can see, is a film agency. And the website is fully built in Webflow, and now we want to make sure that we have two versions, an English version and a German version. So right now the main version here is the German version, and we want to add an English version on top of it. So let's start off by logging into Webflow, and then we are going to the settings, and first of all we want to upgrade our plan here. So with the plan upgrades, there are two main options here for the add-ons. The first one is the essential localization, and the second one is the advanced one. Let me just explain really quickly what the main differences are. So the main differences that we will see is asset localization, localized URLs, and automatic visitor routing. So asset localization, what does it mean? Imagine you have a picture on the English version of your website and you want to have a different picture on the German version of your website. Only possible if you're using the advanced plan. Second up, localized URLs. So let's imagine we have a URL that is filmdudes.net/aboutus. And now for the German version, you will have something like filmdudes.net/de/ and then the German word for about us, über uns. So if you want to have localized URLs, and yes, this is better for SEO and everything, you want to make sure to take the advanced plan. If it's okay, if the URL stays the same, we can just go for the essential plan. An automatic visitor routing, that means if someone is going to your website, is visiting your website, and they have their settings set to, for example, Germany, they will be automatically sent to the German version of the website. If they have England, US as their primary location, they will be sent to the English version of your website. So if you also don't need this, then we can go for the essential version, and this is what we will be doing here. We have one local. One local means one additional country, one additional language, and we are going to pay the plan now and then jump straight into work, and I will show you all the different features in just a second. Okay. Been added to. Now we can go into the designer here. And it will just load 1 second, and we need to move over to the designer tab. And then the first thing that we want to go is we want to go to the settings here. And in the settings, we can choose localization. And English here is set as the primary. Obviously, this is something we don't want, because if I remember correctly here, the website here is everything in German. So let's change this. The primary local that we want to have is German in Germany. So as you can see, the ISO code here is DE. This is specifically useful if you want to use it if you have a language that is spoken in different countries. So for example, Germany is spoken in Germany, but also in Austria and Switzerland. But we won't have separate versions for the website, so it's just okay to have the ISO code based on the language itself. So DE. If you want to learn more about these ISO codes, make sure to check out the other video. And then create subdirectory. This would mean that also the main version of the website here is on /de. We don't want this for now, because the main version should just be on the top level domain. So in our case, filmdudes.net. And then what we will be doing later on is we will be adding a display image here. So this is basically the thing that you can use to show as a flag, for example, in the drop down of where people can choose their local. Okay, we are going to save it now, and we are going to add a new one. And our new one will be English. Same logic here. You can have English specifically for a country or a region, but we just want to have the basic one. And yes, we want to have a subdirectory here. So every content will be published to filmdudes.net/en, and we want to enable publishing to the subdirectory. We turn this on because that means that the local is active. Yes, we want that. Image we will also add later. And now I can save the changes, and something interesting happens because a new drop-down popped up here. And this drop-down is super important because this drop-down lets me customize the website itself. And I will just show you an example if we are going to the company page, for example. Okay, so the company page, this is the German version, most basic version. If I scroll down here, I want to translate this part now. So I'm moving over to the English version of the website. And now I can just go in here and translate what you've been seeing here. So instead of we are a creative agency here, for example, I could just quickly go and translate what I'm having in here. Okay. And we would be pasting it in. So we are a creative agency. And I just want to share this little example. I'm just publishing to the staging just to show you what has happened. So we have been changing the text. You could do the same for all texts here. We can change the images because we are on the essential plan, as I showed earlier, but you will see the logic in just a second. Okay, now as you can see, we have a new URL created /en/company. And if I scroll down here, you can see the English translation of the website. So everything is going all right. And I can literally do the same for all text parts here. But here, as we can see, oh, this is a CMS item. And to localize CMS items, it's also super easy because you can go in here to your CMS. Always make sure to check which local we are in. So let's imagine we have a job here. And as you can see here, the job is in German itself. And now we want to create a local version of it. We can just move over to the English version. Really important to notice. Whenever you create a new one, the collection item will be created in all locals. So just as an example, I will do a test one here. I will create it. Okay, save draft. Now I can see 6 items are in here. Test 1 is set to draft, but now I can move over to the English version, and you can see the test 1 is also created in English. It is still the same content that you will have. So I do another example to make it a little bit more clear. Test 2, test, this is, okay, no, I need to go back because obviously I was making one mistake here. Okay, so I'm creating in the German version. Dies ist Deutsch. So this is German. I'm creating the new thing here. And now, super important to know, if we are moving over to the English version of the website, test 2, this is still written in German. So you can either use the translate feature that Webflow has automatically and translate all of these things, or do it manually and then publish. If you are publishing the old version here that was automatically created, it will be in English. So always make sure that you translate all of the items. And what you can also do is, for example, you just have a blog article in German, but not in English. Then what we could do is, hey, this is the German version, but we want to move over to the English one. And here for the English one, we are saying, hey, I want to delete this one. That's totally fine. So you can delete a CMS item in a local. We see 6 items here. And if I move back to the to the German version, it's 7 items. And you can also, if you want to move over here, for example, just create a job that is in the German version. So as you can see here, to create an item across all locals, you need to start in the primary, so German for us. But if we just have an English job here, we can just do something here, test 3. We are creating it in the English version here. Okay. And now, as we can see, test 3 is created. And if I move back to the German version, test 3 is not active here. So this is super, super important to know if you are thinking about CMS items in general. Okay, and also with the localization in the first place, for example, we have 100 podcast episodes here. If I'm switching over to the English version, all of them are queued to publish or to already published here. So make sure to unpublish or like save all of them as draft till you have them all translated, because obviously you don't want to have the German content in there or the English content when it's not really translated. Okay, so everything's set to draft here. We should be good to go on this one. Okay, so this was it for the translation of the CMS. So we learned we can translate the CMS. We learned we can translate literally everything on a specific page here. And also what we can do is we can check out the settings, the SEO settings, so title tag and all of these things. Okay, so as we learned, we can't upgrade the localization URLs because we have the essential plan, but we are in the English version here, and we want to have a translation. You can use the auto translate in Webflow to do it, or okay, I've done it now, but also you can do it manually. And now I'm just saving it to show you what has happened. So English version of the website, everything is translated here for Google. So the title tag, the meta description, and I can move back to the German version of the website. And here for company, we still have the German text and title in here. So always make sure to also customize these things. Okay, so this is the main work that needs to be done in terms of translations. So super, super important. If we are doing these translations, and I am looking for, let me check out another example here. Okay, so we have the heading here in German. Okay, and if I'm doing a change now, and I haven't touched the translation yet in English, so I could say Impressum ENG, I will go over, and as I haven't touched the item yet for the translation, it will automatically also be changed in the English version. But now we are doing an example where we are deleting the ENG, and we are going to the English version here. And once I have touched something here in the translation, okay, English is touched, I go back to the German version. And now we can add the ENG again. You remember before it was changing. Now I can just go in, and as I see, nothing changes. So always keep that in mind, because sometimes there are elements on your website that you are changing in the main version, and then you realize, oh, it's automatically also changed in the translated version. So always make sure to be aware of that. Then another thing that I wanted to show you is obviously about these like sections or instances. You can also go into an instance, and for example, if you have a code embed or something or a text in there, and also just, yeah, or maybe we can show it better here. Okay, German version, we have a text in here, and we want to have this one for the English version. Okay, we are in English. And then what we would do here is, okay, we are in the current local. Okay, so I can't change it now because this isn't set as an element that can be edited. Okay, so what we want to do first is we are going back, and now for the instance, we need to, okay, we have this as a form heading. So let me check again. We are moving over. So this is, okay. Okay, and here the property. So a property is basically an element in your section or your component here that can be changed. And in our case here, it's the headings. So we can change the heading here. Contact us for your individual project. So you can change it here on the right side. Okay, good. Perfect to know. And also you can change the button here. Send, please wait. Okay, name, email, works. And if I'm switching back to German, everything is still in German. Okay, so this was the main information about how to actually localize a Webflow website. And you need to go through all the pages, obviously, and then publish to your main page. Also something that is super important to know. So we can just show it to you if I publish to the main page, because you should be aware of it. Obviously, we want to tell Google about the localization. So super important for us is the sitemap of your website. And the sitemap is automatically created by Webflow if you want that. And in our case here, we can check it out by opening up the sitemap XML. And as you can see here, Webflow automatically adds all the different versions of your website and tells Google href tag here, English, German. Okay, this is the versions to show. And the default version in this case is always the German one. And also about the href tags, if we are going to the website again, and I'm reloading it in just a second, I just wanted to check everything with you. So reload, we can inspect. And here we can search for the head. And in the head, we should have some href tags. Yes, basically. This tag is stating, hey, there's a default version of the website. And then we have a German one. These are identical in this case, but you always need to point out both. And the English version. So this is the copy of this website in English. And Webflow creates all of this automatically. So don't worry about this. Yeah, and that's basically how you can create a localization for your website. Maybe final notice for you here is about the language switch. So how are people actually changing their language? And to do that, we can go to the Elements tab and we can look for, let's see, what do we have? Localization maybe? Okay, locals list. Let's see what... Okay, I was adding it in here. Maybe we can just quickly use a drop down because we need something like a drop down. Just want to show it to you. Okay, drop down, paste it in here. I'm just going to make it visible for you in just a second. Language. Okay. The text here should be probably white. We want to read it in a good way. Okay. And now obviously I can show the drop down toggle. And right now we just have some links in here, but we want to have the locals in here. So I can take the locals and put them in here. And as you can see, automatically it's pulling the information from the different countries, or like locals in this case. And for example, German standard is written in there. If I want to customize it, quickly going in, German standard. Okay, I can change that. And also if I want to upload, for example, a flag, I can do this to here. So German flag uploading to here. And then if I would change it in the drop down, save, I can also add an image to the drop down itself. Okay, so the image here I could add, and then I can connect it to the local image once that's available. Obviously I didn't upload a flag right now, so it's not here, so I can just delete it. And I just want to show you in the staging real quick what that means for how it's working. Okay, publishing, and we remember staging is for us to test. Okay, let's go in here. Language switch, I can go down. I'm on the German version right now. I'm changing to English and I'm automatically redirected. And yeah, that's basically everything that you need to know about localization of a Webflow website. If you liked the video, follow our account. If you need help by building your website, localizing your website, make sure to check out magier.com, our design and Webflow agency. If you have any questions, put them also in the comments below. Otherwise, see you in the next video. Bye bye.